I wasn't supposed to hear what I heard. The door was half closed. The hallway was quiet. The voices were low. But silence has a way of carrying secrets farther than sound ever should. I had stayed late at work that night. Not because I was dedicated, but because going home felt heavier than staying where I was. The building was mostly empty, lights dimmed, desks silent like abandoned thoughts. I walked past the conference room and slowed down. Inside, two figures sat across from each other. One of them was my supervisor. The other was someone I didn't recognize. Their voices weren't angry. They were careful. "No one will notice," my supervisor said. The other person hesitated. "And if they do?" "They won't," he replied. "The records will be corrected." Corrected? That word stayed with me. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. I wasn't trying to interfere. I was just standing there, invisible. They were talking about a project I worked on. A project that had gone wrong. A project that had caused financial damage, reputational harm, and the quiet removal of one employee who never came back. Not fired. Erased. And now I was hearing why. They weren't fixing the mistake. They were rewriting it. Blaming someone who wasn't there to defend themselves. My chest tightened, not with anger, but with something colder. Understanding. The system didn't need my voice. It needed my silence. I walked away before they noticed me. Not because I was afraid of being seen. Because I already knew what I wasn't going to do. I didn't report it. I didn't confront anyone. I didn't even tell my co-workers. I went home, ate dinner, and slept like nothing had happened. The next morning, the story had changed. Internal emails explained the incident differently. Mistakes had new owners. Responsibility had new names. And the person who had been removed from the company now carried the blame permanently. No appeal. No correction. No truth. People nodded. Files were updated. Life continued. So did I. At first, I told myself I was powerless. One voice wouldn't change a system. One witness wouldn't rewrite a narrative. One person couldn't fight something designed to protect itself. But deep down, I knew that wasn't the real reason I stayed quiet. The real reason was simpler. I didn't want to be the next name erased. Silence felt safer than integrity. Weeks passed. The office returned to normal. Coffee machines hummed. Conversations filled the air. Laughter returned. Only I carried the weight of what I had heard. Not dramatically. Quietly. Like a stone in my chest. I noticed small changes in myself. I spoke less. Listened more. Avoided eye contact when the project was mentioned. Guilt doesn't scream. It whispers. And it whispers the same question over and over: what kind of person are you becoming? One evening, I opened my laptop and searched for the former employee's name. No articles. No statements. No closure. Just silence. The same silence I had chosen. The realization hit me slowly: the system didn't erase people. People erased people. By agreeing not to remember. By agreeing not to speak. By agreeing to move on. I had become part of that agreement. And the strange part: nothing bad happened to me. No nightmares. No panic attacks. No dramatic breakdown. Just a quiet shift in how I saw myself. I wasn't innocent anymore. Not because I caused harm. Because I allowed it. And allowing harm leaves a mark. Not visible. But permanent. Months later, I ran into the person who had been blamed. They looked thinner. Tired. Different. They didn't recognize me. Why would they? To them, I had never existed. I considered telling them the truth. Not to fix anything. Just to acknowledge what had been done to them. but the words stayed in my throat. Truth requires courage. Silence requires comfort. I chose comfort again. That night, I stood in front of my bathroom mirror and studied my reflection. The face looked normal. The eyes didn't. They looked like someone who knew something they refused to say. I didn't hurt anyone, I whispered. But the reflection didn't respond. Because it knew better. I hadn't hurt anyone directly. I had just watched it happen. And sometimes, that's worse. The hardest part about burying the truth isn't the lie. It's living with the version of yourself who chose it. Over time, the memory faded. Not completely. Just enough to feel manageable. The voices in the conference room became distant echoes. The words "no one will notice" became true. No one noticed. Except me. And even I tried to forget. Years passed. My career moved forward. My life stabilized. My past became quieter. But every time I heard the word corrected, something inside me tightened. Because I knew what correction really meant. It meant replacing truth with convenience. And I had helped. Not with actions. With silence. Now, when people talk about ethics, transparency, and responsibility, I listen without speaking. Not because I disagree. Because I know how easy it is to abandon those ideas when silence feels safer. I didn't become a villain. I didn't become a hero. I became something quieter. A witness who chose to disappear. The truth stayed buried. Not because it couldn't surface. Because I didn't lift it. And some secrets don't destroy the world. They just change the person who keeps them.